Good morning, good afternoon and good day everybody. David here, and in today's video it's finally here. The 30th anniversary for Destiny 2 is here, bringing with it some classic weapons from Halo. Both the Magnum and the BR have returned, and as you've probably seen already, loads of people have already done videos on this covering them. These are phenomenal weapons and are a great addition to the sandbox. Now, both of these weapons are very unique in very different ways. Magnum is obviously the exotic and can 3-tap at some ridiculous ranges, making it more of a scout rifle, hand cannon sidearm sort of crossbreed. For this video I want to focus a little more on the BR. That's because the BR is also very unique, as it has a unique frame that only it can roll with, but it's still a legendary. Comparing it to other 450 round horse rifles, also how to make the most of it, the sort of playstyle you should adopt, and also a couple of builds that I recommend that make it ridiculously fun to use. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Now, as you can see here, the BXR 55, or the BR from Halo, is a 450 round per minute pulse rifle. But where it differs from other 450s is that it has a legacy frame, which claims it's a customized frame with dramatically increased accuracy, stability and targeting whilst hip firing. So first thing to note is that none of those effects come into play when you're ADS'd, so that's only when you're hip firing. Straight off the bat, that's one of the reasons I absolutely love this weapon, is that it's one of very few weapons in Destiny 2 where you can use it and nothing else and you're not sort of punished for it. So if you like having just one super consistent weapon that you can use in pretty much any scenario, this is one of those weapons. But that's not saying it's going to be absolutely epic and be the optimum choice for every range, but you are not punished if you want to use this and nothing else. If you enjoy that old sort of Halo thing of just using like one weapon. But I absolutely love this for that reason, and you can see in all of these clips here, the hip fire is so generous. I can outstrafe and outduel a sidearm that came behind me, that flank on me. You can just map people from far away with the ADS, and then when someone pushes you from around a corner or whatever, immediately just hip fire, and you've got that increased strafe speed because you're not ADS'd anymore and you're not punished for doing so. So the play potential of this weapon is just awesome. Now, where it compares to a regular 450, so something like this blast furnace, the frames for these are aggressive bursts, so these actually fire 4 bullets per burst. You can see here that the BR only fires 3 bullets for every burst, therefore its damage model is actually slightly different. So when I'm aiming at a target, I hit 25 per headshot with the BR, but within regular 450, so this blast furnace, I hit 27 per headshot, and that's 4 bullets per burst as well. That means against a Guardian that's 5 resilience, the BR needs to beat 2 full headshots and a body burst to get a kill. It's a 3 burst kill no matter what you do. Whereas with a regular 450, if you hit all headshots, you can 2 burst straight off the bat without any sort of damage buffs. So therefore their time to kill is a lot faster. And then with an empowering rift, the BR still can't 2 burst to the head. Even something like this third axiom, which is an adaptive frame, a 390, that's a 3 burst kill still and is more forgiving. And on top of that, with an empowering rift, it can also 2 burst, doing 37 per shot. So you can see straight away that the BR is not like the most competitive or meta option. This isn't even including things like the Messenger, which is just even more ridiculous, and they can 2 burst straight off the bat as well, with even more ease than a regular 450 can. However, like I said, where the BR does shine is that it can compete at all ranges, so you can be just as accurate from the hip. So it's a lot easier to keep track of your target, a lot easier to strafe and throw off their shots because you're not punished with a slower movement speed, and your radar is up constantly so you can see when you're getting flanked and stuff as well. So the benefits that the BR has sort of come into play a lot more in closer scenarios and also at range, which is great. Where the BR can absolutely shine, and give you that tasty 2 burst is if you have kill clip active. So with kill clip, it is just a straight 2 burst, doing 34 to the head per shot, which is just ridiculous. So for my optimum roll, or my dream roll, this would be it. So this has a range masterwork with arrowhead break, ricochet rounds, perpetual motion, which is a new perk, and kill clip to get that tasty 2 burst. Now with all of these things, this makes it just ridiculously consistent. So arrowhead gives it a 100 recoil pattern, which makes it very easy to control. Ricochet rounds boost both stability and range, so on controller this is even more important. Perpetual motion I think is the best perk. This weapon gains bonus stability, handling and reload speed whilst the wielder is in motion. So this can go up to ×2, and at ×2 stack it gives you, I believe, +10 to stability, +20 to both handling and reload speed. That makes it so the handling is at 100, the reload speed is at 87, and the stability is at 82 with this particular roll. It just makes it absolutely ridiculous. And because of the 20 zoom that the battler has, that's what helps with it at range being super consistent. So that's why I don't feel like you need things like Killing Wind or Rangefinder to push out that range even more. However, this is one of those weapons that has so many great rolls that there's not a god roll. This is just my particular one. Now this weapon has a 0.8 time to kill at base, so that makes it on par with quite a few weapons in the game. However, it's a little more unforgiving about obtaining that because you have to be landing your shots that entire time. And again, as I said earlier, it needs to be 2 full bursts and then 1 sort of body shot burst to be able to do that. A hand cannon can outdraw you many times because of just how forgiving they are, and the fact that they can peek shoot and stuff and be a lot more evasive to make you miss your shots. So even though they have the same base time to kill, it's a lot more obtainable with a hand cannon than it is with the BR. Once you do have kill clip, however, this does change to a 0.6, which is insane. Very, very quick time to kill. But again, what I love about the BR is the fact that it can be used at all ranges, so you're not really punished for range drop off, and the sort of skill gap to this weapon is knowing when to ADS and when to hip fire, using your strafe and stuff whilst hip firing to throw off your opponent's shots as well. Now the BR that you're seeing in the gameplay just so happens to be the very first BR that I got to drop quite a max range one. It's got hammer forged with ricochet and a range masterwork, so that's as much range as I can get without any drawbacks in other areas. But because of that, the recoil pattern is pulled slightly to the left, so I've had to throw on a counterbalance mod to make that more vertical. If you had arrowhead break, you wouldn't have to use a counterbalance mod, so therefore you could use things like Icarus or a targeting mod or anything like that. This particular roll has snapshot, which is great for when you are flicking between hipfire and ADS, but there's definitely better parts to get here, and like I said earlier, I think perpetual motion is the best one to have here. And then I have kill clip, which is just insane. So one of my favourite builds to sort of rock with the BR and to make the most of kill clip and that 2 burst potential is actually with the Titan. So a couple of mods straight off the bat that I recommend is obviously your targeting mods and flinching mods, with a sidearm scavenger mod if you are using the Magnum. Therefore this gives you extra ammo for the sidearm because it takes special ammo. I use the Path of Burning Steps. Solar final weapons periodically grant you an escalating bonus to weapon damage. So this is after a double kill. You're harder to slow or freeze with stasis, and when you break out you take no damage and also get that damage buff. Stasis is still fairly popular, but I'm not using this for that part of it. So if it happens, it happens, but it's mainly for those double kills with the solar weapon. As the BR is a solar weapon, double kills with it will give you that firewalk damage buff, which on its own won't let you 2 burst. However, you pair it with this mod, the Swift Charge, so you become charged with light by rapidly defeating combatants with pulse rifles, sidearms or SMGs. Rapidly defeating means a double kill, and then if you also rock taking charge, so you become charged with light by picking up orbs of power, and then you pair those with the high energy fire mod, then you get a damage bonus whilst charged with light. That means you get a double kill with the BR, which will create an orb. That also procs kill clip after getting that kill. You also get the Firewalker damage buff for getting a double kill. You also become charged with light through picking up that orb, but also from swift charge for getting a double kill. So you've got 2 stacks of charge with light, which activates high energy fire, and these 3 damage buffs all stacked together to make a very, very consistent and lethal weapon. I'm 2-bursting people like across the map, and it's just ridiculous. And it makes it so the headshot to body shot ratio is a lot more forgiving as well. You can even take this to the next step by pairing it with something like Inertia Override for Striker Titan, the Sunspots for Bottom Tree Sunbreaker, or even the Weapons of Light from the Ward of Dawn bubble. So there's most of the gameplay in this video, and it's just so good, ridiculously fun. Now another build that I really love is one for the Warlock. So this is Middle Tree, Well of Radiance. So when you proc your well, you can 2-burst then. Again, the Empowering Rift doesn't allow you to 2-burst by itself. However, if you are charged with light, so you use the same mods we did for the Titan with the Warlock, charged with light and in the Empowering Rift will allow you to 2-burst. And then when you've got Kill Clip active, move from your Rift then and stuff, and actually move around the map a bit more then. But the Titan one is definitely the more fun and more lethal one out of the 2. This combo with the Magnum allowed me to get 4 or 5 40 bomb, almost 50 bomb games just back to back. It was absolutely ridiculous. Fortunately, most of the footage for those ended up frames dropping and like glitching out and freezing and stuff, so I've not been able to include any full gameplay, which I wanted to. But at the end of this video, I am going to leave a full rerun that I got of one of those matches, so you can see the score at the end, see just how lethal it is. But I do apologise now for the frame drops and stuff that are in that footage, so if you want to watch it, feel free. That should do it for the video, guys. Again, I absolutely love these. The BR is ridiculously fun and can be ridiculously deadly, and I just love the fact that you're not punished for using just a primary weapon. You don't have to rely on having a shotgun or a sniper or whatever to fill your loadout out if you just want to focus on your primary gameplay. BR is very different to other 450 RPM pulses. I wanted to touch upon that because it's not been touched upon yet from what I've seen. The potential of it can be great if you use it in the right way. So again, I'm going to let this gameplay play out. This is the Wii run in a 40 bomb game that I got on Midtown. Apologise for the frames jumping everywhere. If you do watch it, hopefully you enjoy it and see how ridiculous it is. Hopefully you get the role that you're after if you are grinding for this weapon. Like I said earlier, there's loads of roles to get, so try a bunch out, let me know how you get on and what roles you have. Put all that in the comment section. I always respond to the comments, so I love to see that stuff. And yeah, take care guys. Thank you so much for your time and your support, and hopefully I shall see you in the next one. Bye. God.
The flames have gone cold.
Oh my god.
Zone A captured. In the Dark Age, you would have been one of us, the Iron Lords. Opponent claims Zone C. Zone B captured. 2 zones are yours. Two down.
Dang.
Zone B lost.
That
Zone
was
C
amazing.
captured. You have the advantage. Press on.
Hold this from it.
Zone A lost. 5 minutes left. Sound tactics so far. Zone B captured. 2 zones are yours. 2 down.
Oh my god! Oh my days. This is insane. No, right, I'm gonna keep up this momentum.
Zone B lost.
Nearly got hungry.
Zone A captured. You have the advantage. Press on. There will come a day when hope
I
dies.
think that's the wee run.
When the sky darkens and a shadow swallows the sun. When this city falls again, and it will, it may not rise. Every generation faces a reckoning. When yours comes, will you?
Oh no.
And what you can do.
They finally killed me. I'm scared to look at my score. Oh my, the 1 off for a 50 bomb. Jesus.